guys. Welcome back to another episode of the NSDC podcast. With me, as always, are the homies, Doom
Yo.
Card and MonsterInTheIronMask. What's going on, guys?
What's going on? Not much,
Oh,
man.
man.
It's a crazy time in the hobby, man. You know, got a lot of people into Batman right now.
Yeah,
That's what I hear.
Batman's popular, dog.
I mean, we've known that, but it
Yeah.
seems like people are starting to wake up to that, or being reminded of it, one or the other.
Yeah.
Great.
I think it's just a reminder, you know. Like I think they took a couple naps and fell into some FOMO, and then they realized it might be a little bit too late into the game. You know, it might be a little bit too late for some stuff, but there's a lot of stuff out there.
It's a
There's a lot of
lot.
stuff out there.
It's a lot of stuff out there for sure.
But
I feel
some
like-
stuff, some stuff gets locked away.
Yeah.
I think with Batman though, it's more on. I think there's more Batman stuff on the comic side than there is on the card side.
Well,
No, definitely.
I've been on I don't know if I talked about it last week, but I've been doing more rabbit hole videos on YouTube of Golden Age Batman comics. Oh, bro.
Yeah.
It's dangerous.
Well, yeah, no, that shit will get you to sell your Doom collection. You know what I mean?
Here and there, you can move pieces. I'm gonna work my way to Golden Age. Don't even worry about it.
Hey, you got, as long as you change your name to Batman Card,
No,
coming.
people trying to
Coming
change
soon.
my name. Dude, don't worry about my name, dog. You know what I mean?
Coming
That's-
soon,
I mean, you know how it is, man. I don't gotta tell you.
Yeah. Look, man, I put a lot of work to get my name out there in a positive way.
Mm-hmm.
So, I get it. But yeah, man. Yesterday was Independence Day.
Yeah, happy 4th.
Happy 4th. I love that Kendrick dropped the Not Like Us video. Felt very patriotic for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Shout out to all the Canadian listeners out there. My bad, but you know what I mean?
And it had extra verses too, right?
He
Had a
had
few
a
extra
little
verses, so,
snippet in the front, which gets me excited.
like-
He drops new
Yeah,
music.
yeah.
Sounded upbeat,
Yeah.
sounded West Coast. So.
And people get crazy and they're like, hey, Easter eggs and stuff like that. Supposedly, there's a little conspiracy that I think one of his jackets says like 8824. So, we don't know. Maybe we're expecting a new Kendrick album.
Wow.
But the snippet to the beginning sounded really dope. I'd like to hear the rest of that.
Sounded good.
Yeah, it was dope in a lot of ways. One of the things that I like is that he's definitely like riding that wave. Like
Yeah.
he
Oh, yeah.
won the BET award, and like he's like definitely using this to like propel himself even further in the culture. And then to you guys' point too, like I feel like he brings people together.
100%.
Well, he brought the whole West Coast. People finally want to hear more from more artists down there that they've been in the spotlight before, but people like Mustard are now popping again. So
Yeah.
that's great. I didn't do much. I watched a lot of YouTube, watching some wrestling, some old school wrestling. Well, not old school, like from a couple of years ago. I've been watching wrestling this year, so I've been getting caught up in like watching the old Royal Rumbles and shit. That was fun. And fireworks were everywhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, just doing a lot of that.
I watched with the family the Flash movie from 2023, The Flash.
Yeah,
And
the Flashpoint.
I personally hadn't seen it, but I knew, since a while back that Michael Keaton, the original Batman, was going to be on it. And let me tell you, man, for me, it definitely didn't disappoint. It was the dopest DC movie I've seen by far. Like, that's the kind of movies that they have to put out there, DC meaning, like to even compete on the Marvel level. Not with recent Marvel movies, because they've been lacking, but I'm talking about like Endgame kind of shit,
Yeah.
And it's actually surprising to me that you've actually delayed watching that, since I know you're such a 89 Batman person, and you haven't seen that movie yet.
Yeah, it was dope, man. I forgot what happened. I like to go to the theater a lot, mainly with the wife, more so than sometimes with the kids too. But there's more more adult movies that come up often, and she's into horror, so which is why we don't take them as often as we go. Like we took them to see the Mario movie and Trolls, stuff like that.
Come on,
Yeah.
But
man.
like,
Show
not
show the kids the horror movies. Let's build character. We did it as kids.
Sorry.
We did it as
For
kids.
sure.
We were definitely watching stuff that we should not have been watching as kids.
Oh, 100%.
No,
My son
sorry.
is 11. I'm definitely a lot more lenient with him, but my daughter's 5, dog. She ain't watching shit right now.
Nah, you see,
Listen, I would get dragged in. I'm going to the movie. Like,
nah, I'm not watching. They weren't taking me to horror movies, but my cousins definitely started playing it. When I was visiting them, and now, thanks to them, I hate clowns. So
there you go.
yeah, don't let your daughter watch them. Man. She fucked up.
No, I'm not, bro. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So,
It could
but
make
yeah.
or break you, dog. You know what I mean? Like,
Hey, man.
long-term effects. You know what I'm
Some
saying?
That's why
PTSD.
that's why they don't say it. They don't make them like they used to. I think we're part of the last breed of those people. Because we had it rough. We had older cousins, and like there was like the whole like rated R. Dude, people don't care about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
We
Dude,
sing
I
in the
think I
movie
was
theater.
yeah.
to your point. I think I was 8 or 9 when I watched The Exorcist.
100%, dude.
Damn.
Yeah.
And whoever took you, who took you, like a cousin or like?
No, I mean that movie's from the 80s, so or
Nah, I
70s, so
guess.
it was on VHS. It was back in the
Okay,
Blockbuster days.
okay,
I'm
But
okay.
I will
not
say
trying
that
to
I
jump
couldn't
to
sleep for a couple of
conclusions,
days.
but
Some
that
nightmares.
I'm not gonna jump conclusions, but that definitely like it makes sense if someone knows you. Yeah, nah, that makes sense. That adds up, dog. Nah, I
God.
get it.
I mean,
No wonder
I'm
you got
good.
so many questions. Like, yeah, okay.
Oh, I got a bunch
There
of
you go.
questions, dog.
We should
No,
have
know?
here's a
questions, yeah.
question. Here's a question, dog. Everybody's in Dallas now. What's
Mm.
going
Oh man,
on?
what's going on?
I
Yo,
mean,
everybody
the,
putting up the Dallas car show. Like, oh shit, okay.
Oh, okay.
you know what I think it is? I mean, obviously people are trying to move stuff like always. Like we're
Yeah.
all trying to move things, including myself. But I think what it is that they're trying to be consistent with having a Marvel presence at these shows,
Mm,
Right.
which I do appreciate, bro, because like,
yeah.
No, it's needed. Yeah.
yeah, Burbank
Listen,
Car Show is coming up in a couple of days over here in the West Coast in California. And I went to the last one they did and it was less than 1% Marvel. So
mm,
I do wish we get
Mm.
to the point where again, I don't, I don't want, I'm not asking for too much. Say it's a 500 table show. Just give me at least 5 tables of Marvel. Just 5.
mm.
That's
Five to
1%.
10% would be nice.
Yeah,
Well,
10%. I don't want to be
here's the
greedy.
hard part though. Here's the hard part though, because back to where we ended off our last episode. When it comes to Marvel cards, like listen, you listen. It's if you need 5 tables, it needs to be 5 tables of like dope shit. You know what I mean? Like legitimately, like some nicer stuff. And some of these things are hard to come by in the Marvel world because again, to many points that we've brought up, in this conversation, like some things get locked down and that's it. Like it doesn't go out anymore.
Yeah, but you need like you don't even need crazy shit. You just need fun shit that can catch
Yeah,
people's attention,
no,
right? But yeah, I mean, look, I find I saw it, I was like, okay, it was interesting, and shout out to everyone out there. Definitely won't catch me there because I don't like to go outside, but I respect it. I respect people grinding, doing
So
their
the
thing.
moral of the story is don't let your kids watch it. They won't want to go
Yeah,
outside after
yeah,
that.
well, yeah. They don't go outside. You gotta watch when I'm looking down. What that shit called? Where the fucking water drainage goes? Yeah, you gotta relax.
yeah,
Oh yeah,
like the sewer,
Don't get too
the
close.
manhole, the manhole.
manhole.
Although, as a
No,
kid,
the manhole's where the Ninja Turtles come out, dog. What are you
that's what I'm
talking
saying. Ninja
Oh,
Turtles
shit.
kind of saved that for me.
about?
That's why I love them. I mean, they kind of like, they fixed the trauma, dog. I mean,
Yeah.
so
I got you.
Well,
fucking
not they
Raph
didn't
fucked
100%
up it,
reverse
dog.
it,
In
but
my
they helped you out.
story, it got fucked up by Raph. Easy. 1, 2,
Hmm.
3. Oh man.
Yeah.
Any pickups? You guys done any pickups this week?
I personally have not, man. I've been laying low. I've been looking. I'm watching. Like it's out there. I see you, but
Yeah.
we gotta,
Hmm.
we gotta play it smart. We got shit to do. There's a
Nice.
couple missions
Yeah.
that we gotta bust out first, and like have priority. So I'm just keeping an eye on a couple things sold here and there. And you know what? Like it's again, before I used to be like in that rush of like try to like snap whatever, and it's like you know what, dude? Like some stuff we all know like that we see, you can't let it go. You know, like if
Yeah.
it pops up,
Yeah,
you kind of have to like snap it.
that's where I'm
But
at.
for the most part, you know, it's just like it's you know I'm on the Johnny vibe, man. You know, it's okay.
Yeah.
You want to you want to take it. You know.
Yeah.
I will say though, everything is seasonal, right? Because we're currently in a season in these couple months where it's like the slowest for sales in general. But
Yeah.
that's why it feels like the Johnny approach is dope right now. But we're at peak market and like that doesn't work out as well because that's right now is when you see a lot of dope shit come out and not a lot of people are paying attention and a lot of
Yeah.
things are going for cheaper than they should. But then when that's over and we catch a combination of the market picking up and more new Marvel collectors and DC collectors coming in, like that's when you can't really be picky anymore or even wait because the stuff starts going up again.
Yeah. Or you miss out on everything because now there's multiple
Yeah,
bidders. So
yeah.
I mean, you gotta find a way to maneuver.
Now,
Uh,
how many, what percentage would you say, you know, like what percentage would like Marvel collectors are gonna roll into that DC, like you know, picking up like DC cards when it happens? Like, what do you think is a good
Oh,
percentage of
I
those
I
people that
think
are transferring over from one IP to the next?
I think it's a strong percentage. If I had to guess, though, like put it this way, I think it's a lot more than the people that transferred from Pokemon to Marvel because
yeah.
it's a way different IP, right? Like I
I
think
think
it's
minimum
30.
70% of the
Well,
Marvel people are gonna be picking up DC. Maybe I'm
no.
just too optimistic though.
Yeah, I would say minimum 30, but I could see going up to like 70% for sure.
Yeah.
Um, but I think 70 is a safe number. And it's kind of like what we said earlier. In general though, there's not as many DC cards as there is Marvel. Now that Upper Deck
No.
got the license, and they're gonna start flooding the shit out of the market soon. That's gonna change. But as of now, like you have some of the 66 set that we touched on last time. You have some of the older 90 stuff,
Yeah.
and the newer ZZX. But
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
were ghost cards. Like a lot of those cards, I've had a couple people reach out to me in regards to that era, and those cards, even when we were picking up back in 2021, like a lot of the nice stuff was already gone, especially
Yeah.
sketches.
Yeah. The sketches is definitely a lot of the sketches been locked away. A lot of the good ones. But
Yeah,
people still finding gems out there.
yeah,
Some of the homies been hitting me up to finding Superman sketches, Batman sketches, Joker sketches. So it's been cool. Been cool to see the effect. There's definitely some interest for sure. Uh,
There's a lot of DC news going on in general, man. It actually surprised me. There's a lot. There's just so much going on in the DC world right now. And I did see like one post that was like DC like related that like was kind of like a knockoff to what like DC is doing right now. And honestly, like DC is pretty deep in production and what they're making. I know we got a couple animes coming up with
yep.
DC. One that's come out, and then we have another one that's soon to be out. Um, and Marvel's response to that was Marvel Zombies anime, and I just kind of like scratched my head, and I'm just like, you know. Wait, so according to what I read, it was Marvel Zombies anime, which
Okay.
sounds relatively cool, right? But then like the
Yeah,
main
I'm
character
into
is
it.
Miss Marvel, and then I was just like, you lost me, you know?
Oh, wow. Well, you gotta give it a shot though, bro. You can't just shoot it down because Miss
Dude,
Marvel.
Miss Marvel's not Batman, dude. You know that's the problem.
Yeah, but we can't compare everything to Batman because then it loses. Like, come on,
Are
no.
you, so you're gonna watch
I look,
Marvel Zombies?
yeah, hell yeah, I'm much more. Look, I still love Marvel. Don't get me
Of
wrong,
course, we all do.
but Batman just hits a different nostalgia for me. But yeah, zombies. Look, I'm a huge Walking Dead fan. You know what I mean? I like
Mm.
zombies. I'm rolling. I want to see what it looks like.
But kudos to Marvel for the effort. You know, let's see
Well,
what happens.
more animation, the better. I mean,
That's
I
where I'm
agree on
at.
that. Yeah,
Like
for sure.
as a
That's where I'm at.
whole, like I like that we're back in the animation era. Again, shout out to Spider-Verse, which I think was a big factor in them investing money to bring shows back. Part of my pickup finally got a card I picked up a
Uh-oh.
while back. A little Miles
Nice.
Morales auto
Yeah,
achievement,
that's a
e-pack
dope one.
achievement out of 10. So I sent
Nice.
that through ComC to PSA, got it back. Yeah, bro. Like to me, that was a turning point of animation being back for the Marvel and DC specifically.
Yeah.
I will say, man, not to shit on the whole Miles spread cheeks parade,
Yeah.
but I'll say that like speaking of animation, like people sleep on the Dragon Ball Super movie with Broly from 2018.
Oh yeah.
Look at that fighting scene that they have in the fucking. They're looking like they're in the Appalachian Mountains in the fucking snow,
Yeah.
and tell me that doesn't go against any of the new animation like that.
Yeah. No, for sure.
I was gonna say I'm just bringing that up because they also announced the Dragon Ball Daima series that they're gonna come up with.
Oh, I haven't heard of that.
I guess yeah, that's what Akira was working on, I believe, before he passed away.
Oh, what? So is it like it's a movie or a series?
No, it's a whole series. Yeah,
Oh
it,
shit.
it's a series. Yeah, it's all the Dragon Ball Z or Goku and his friends were turned small, kind of like in Dragon Ball GT.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's yeah.
I'm definitely looking forward to that then.
It's gonna be
No,
released in the
definitely.
fall this year.
You know, the one thing that I definitely think that the Japanese do very well, like if you watch some of the modern animes, because you're
Yeah.
talking about like fight scenes and like animation stuff like that. Like I know we don't talk about it too much, obviously, because we usually talk about Marvel like other things that we've been collecting for a while. But man, like nobody touches.
You don't even gotta finish it.
Yeah, you old. I can give you new. Like yeah, like it's just Initial D being a good one. We've talked about Initial D on the
Yeah.
channel before. Like
Yep.
that. Nobody has done that before their time. Like they were the first people to do that kind of like 3D, 2D animation, and
Bro,
that's
the
just crazy.
vibe, the detail that they would put into that, and more than anything, if you notice, like even all these new animes that are coming out, all of them are trying to recreate that feeling, and they
Yeah.
keep failing.
Yeah, so some do it well. Like there's a couple like Jujutsu Kaisen I mentioned before.
Yeah.
They just dropped. Yeah, I mean, there's so much out there. Like
You
it's like
know,
a lot of modern stuff. One Piece, like man, you go One Piece back to like '98 One Piece to like One Piece battles now. It's just not even the same. It's not even the same cartoon.
yeah, I think to their credit, the only thing I could think of is it is a lot more work to do it the way they used to do it because they would have to hand draw every single
Yep.
scene. Versus now, I feel like because of technology, they don't feel like putting in that same work, and they don't
Yeah.
need to. And I think that's why you don't
Well,
get the same feeling.
So it's an antiquated way of doing
Yeah,
that work now, that production.
I would say it's very similar to people that wanna that collect records as opposed to
Yeah.
just using Spotify.
Yeah.
Digital music. Yeah. I mean, but there is a certain quality. That's why like the Studio Ghibli movies are what they are because
Yeah.
it's all hand drawn. It's some of the best shit out there. Like there's it there's a quality that gets missed, but I
But
mean,
even
if we have to
even
sacrifice quality just to bring out more content, I'm okay
yeah.
with that. Just give
Think
me
about Akira though. Like think about that movie if you guys have ever seen that movie,
yeah,
and think about the fact that same thing with like Studio Ghibli. That was frame by frame. That's just crazy, you know.
Yeah.
yeah,
And but
It,
back to your point, Doom. I disagree on the quantity over quality because if you remember back in the day, and I'm sure I speak for both of you, but I didn't grow up with cable, and I remember like one of the things I wanted when I was young, like 12, 13 years old. I always wish we had fucking Direct TV and had HBO and
yeah,
Showtime and fucking Cartoon Network.
yeah. Same.
And now when we're in an era where you have Netflix, you have Hulu, you have Disney Plus, you have like Crunchyroll, you have all these things.
Yeah,
Now I'm like, I have too many options to where now I don't know what to watch because it's too many things. So
Yes,
I do really prefer quality over quantity because that also makes you look forward to things. Like I think that's what's missing even from like going out to the movies. That there was like 3 or 4 dope movies in the summer, 3 or 4 dope movies like around December. Now there's so many movies being flooded where like, damn, you're playing catch up, and it's
but
impossible.
the key is not to. Yeah, I feel the same way because you give me too many options, I fucking freeze. I need a
Mm,
sense of direction. But that's where either you need people around you or figure out what you like because you could get because there's more produced content, you can get very specific on what you watch. And
mm,
you do have to be a curator of what you watch now. Like there's tons of shit all the time.
yeah.
But is it tons of like stuff that we want to see? No. You gotta like if you give me all the top like 25 movies of the year, I'm sure I probably won't like most of them because
Yeah,
Yeah.
they
I
won't do
agree.
it for me. But you can feel me like you can find me like a crazy obscure documentary about whatever like it's interesting. Those like when you find a gold like that, that's what makes it dope because now you can go find other content that's similar or you start educating yourself and this and that or whatever it's about. Like this branches to every decision. But
Mm,
the reason I want there to be more options because we have seen, and you can maybe accredit that to the popularity in the anime, right? And especially like the generation younger than me, my niece and my nephew, who all they watch was anime. All they watch Crunchyroll, uh, and they're up to all these, you know, shows that I never heard of,
Mm.
which made it so popular that the U.S. Well, it feels like what do I know? But it feels like they started producing similar anime content. Like Netflix did the whole arc. I believe it's Arcane that it was like a based on League of Legends or whatever. They made like this whole anime. That was awesome. Like they started investing in doing these animated series, right? So
Mm.
I like that the big IPs are playing with that too. And like we talked about it before, DC's always been producing animated content. It's good to see that Marvel's doing the same though.
Yeah, and but if
Speak.
you notice too, man, we're always in a lot of areas, right? Like whether it's content, whether it's animation, whether it's music, we're always, I feel like, trying to play catch up to the past. Like
Yeah,
one way or another, we're always trying to get to where, oh, like an era that we didn't take for granted. It was when we were coming up, or depending on what area we're talking about, right?
yeah,
Music, most people would say it was like the 70s or the 80s, whatever.
yeah,
But with animation, like even like the stuff that Sergio's been posting about the Marvel versus Capcom stuff, like the
yeah,
animation that was from the early 2000s. Like that's
Mhm.
still peak. Like a lot of people to feel that Marvel animation and like art peaked in the 90s, and now people are trying to like you know make their art look like the 90s stuff. And then
yeah,
you
Yeah,
have artists that are moving forward.
and even to that point, I was reading an article about Bengus the other day because obviously I was pulling up images and stuff like that, and digging into a little bit into that research, and his inspiration was Jim Lee. So
Right? Yeah.
nice.
again,
Yeah,
there you go.
makes
Like
sense. Yeah, you look at that artwork and it makes sense, right?
I think he was like quoted saying like, "Hey, like it's just when it comes to like the imagery of Marvel's Capcom 2 is it's so Jim Lee without being Jim Lee, and then the artwork that's on the side, right, like the promotional artwork is an ode to Jim Lee, and you can see that very much in certain images like the Gambit, like the Wolverine, maybe not so much the Doom, but to other the Psylocke. I mean, man,
The Rogue.
it's yeah, the Rogue,
and,
100%, like
and
100%.
I think it also has to do with the fact that as we move forward and progress, like technology wise and just in general, like the population, like I don't know what the population exactly was when we were born, maybe in the 6 or 7 billion. Now we're like over 10. But like ideas are so hard to come by now, like original ideas. Everybody's
Yeah,
done it, right? Like if we play a rhyming game right now and we use the word, for example, doom, and you rhyme with something,
Yeah,
how long until we start repeating some of the same fucking words?
yeah.
That's what I feels like
It,
now. Like
It's
even with the anime, like I was watching Jujutsu Kaisen, and I watched a couple first of the episodes, and I was like,
Yes.
man, this reminds me of Naruto. Like,
Kind of, yeah.
yeah, like it's like, oh, that's Naruto. Oh, that's Sasuke. It's so obvious. Oh, that's Kakashi, the guy with the damn face covering. I mean, not to the T. It's not like they're the same exact characters, but it's just like it's so hard to come up with original concepts now.
it's a type of character. Yeah, I mean, we're definitely not in the original content, or I don't even know when you would say the last original mainstream idea for pop culture was. Right, it could have been years.
I think Japanese anime has led the way in creating their own like waves.
Yeah,
Like they create a show, it goes viral, it blows up. It may go like underneath the rug to like maybe mainstream like media. But some of these, if you look at some of the stats of some of these shows in Japan, it's the most viewed show, out there. Period.
yeah.
Like it's just crazy. Yeah, and speaking of a lot of options, I mean, I know we have a little bit of news in the Hulu Netflix world this week. We got a couple things coming out, and a couple things that have come out, and we've kind of like kind of went under the rug. So we're gonna bring that up. I know we have Terminator Zero. Is it Terminator Zero? The anime
Terminator Zero. So that's a Netflix thing, right?
that's on Netflix. Yep. The trailer dropped. I think the third or right before the 4th of July.
Hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
interesting.
yeah, because well, first off, the like just from seeing some of the screens, uh,
Yeah,
look at that's like
yeah,
reminds me
yeah.
of Akira, the whole
That's
explosion
accurate
thing,
vibes.
right?
Yeah.
But like
So
this dude looking like I like the tongue. I don't know what the details are. I'm looking forward to it. It
Um,
definitely got me like
I'm gonna give it a
interested.
shot.
Um, and I like that something as a Terminator is becoming animated. Uh,
Mm.
what is this? A movie or a series?
I mean, I guess if it pops off, it might become a series. But I don't know. Well, I
it
guess we'll
is.
see what happens.
Yeah, I think it is going to be a
There
series,
you
and also too, one of those shots, one of those thumbnails, it also gives me Ghost in a Shell vibes too.
go.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
definitely this
Well,
one, the first one.
so
Yeah, that one.
you
Yep.
you
Yeah.
you mentioned that, and this anime is actually produced by some of the producers from Ghost in the Shell. I don't have the
Mm.
exact names. They might be on the wiki there, but it's interesting that someone. I mean, it kind of makes sense, no? Like Ghost in the Shell, producing a Terminator movie, and to me, this is nostalgia. I was a big Terminator 2 fan as a
Yeah.
little kid. I remember, I really vividly remember going to like a Costco, and like my dad gave me like a few bucks, and I bought the VHS at Costco when I was a little kid, and that was dope. Like I really, I've always been a big fan of like the Terminator, and specifically Terminator 2 for me. So
Yeah,
giving me like a Ghost in the Shell plus Terminator kind of vibe. I mean,
anime
I'm excited.
series.
Yeah, I'm excited.
That's
It's
dope.
I like. We is it safe to say Terminator was a like a Western creation, like a U.S. creation, or like this is where it
But
started the
Who,
IP,
who
right?
who knows now, man? I've seen a
yeah, who
lady
knows?
that I'm sure you guys have heard of her. I forget her name, but she claims that someone stole
She
her
made the
idea for
Matrix.
both Terminator and the Matrix. Yeah,
Yep,
Oh
I've heard
wow!
of that too.
yeah.
But I
So
mean,
I've heard of that
what
too.
I like at least the introduction worldwide was an American movie, and now it's becoming an anime. Like I like that. It's getting inspiration from us, and they're doing their own spin on it, and then we get inspiration from them, and we do our own spin on things.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's sick. Really like that. The other one I know we're gonna talk about. I started watching was the Suicide Squad.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Isekai. I don't know how you pronounce this.
Isekai. Isekai.
Isekai.
Yeah.
And this is pretty cool from what I've seen. The first episode is
Yep.
interesting. It's definitely
Imagery is
like
fun.
subtitled, right? I like the character like designs, and definitely Harley and Joker heavy in the beginning.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to just bro, it's characters I'm familiar with, and now they're just doing anime shows about them, so it's easier to get into for me.
Yeah.
I gotta ask, Jim, how are you watching this? Are you watching this dubbed? Or are you watching this in English?
Well, I would love it dubbed, but I know that's a no for a lot of people who
You
watch
gotta.
anime.
You know
Right?
what it is though too. Sometimes like the expressions of the voice, it just sounds so much better in Japanese
Yeah,
with certain animes.
I
With
hear
certain ones, yeah.
from the purist, like my niece and
Yeah,
you and my nephew. That's what I hear. But to me, I just want to not read
I'm
sometimes.
trying to
Yeah,
put you guys on,
yeah.
man. I'm trying to put
I
you
mean,
guys
I
on.
tried doing that on Dragon Ball Super, bro, and I can't stand the way the Japanese voice actor of Goku. I'm like, it sounds like
Yeah,
a girl. I can't do that.
yeah.
Oh yeah. See, my creativity makes me buy into whatever I'm listening to. So even with like you watch like some Korean movies and Japanese movies, international movies. If there's not an English option, sometimes they have the Spanish one. Oh, bro, quick in Spanish audio. I'm rocking with the Spanish audio. I don't want to read. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
that
fine.
makes sense though, right? Because we're Spanish speakers.
And
But
it's
like,
trippy
yeah,
because even like the Godzilla that just came out, what was it? Minus one,
Minus
minus
one.
zero. I forget what it's called, but I tried this subtitle version, right? Which most people are like, that's the go-to. You want to hear the original audio. I did 15 minutes. Then I switched to the English audio. And then I tried that for 15 minutes. Then I switched to the Spanish. I just rock with the Spanish audio, dog. I mean, it's
yeah,
just
No.
I'm good. And I that's the one of the few times I value being bilingual. I got three options here.
one of the
So
first,
you know what I mean?
one of the few times. What's going on? What do you mean by that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really think about being able to understand two languages. I don't
You
really,
take it for granted, type of thing.
yeah, like it's not that I take it for granted. I just don't. It just doesn't come across my mind like that. I'm using it or when it's a positive thing. But having three different options, like, oh, this is kind of cool. Like I understand all this shit. And I just rocked out with the Spanish because I don't know. There's some sort of comfortability with Spanish for me, just listening
Yeah,
to it. It is my first language, even though I know we were talking about this earlier. Like maybe one day we could do a Spanish podcast, but
Uh-oh.
I don't speak it like I used to, and I hear it, but I love like I do process things in Spanish before I say them in English. It sounds weird. I don't know. Some people could probably identify with that, but like
Yeah. And hey,
especially
a
yeah,
lot of Spanish people, man, they are deep in the hobby. I know
yeah,
I think I'm pretty sure we've all shared like the what is it? La Mole? Like the La Mole Comic Con
La
in
Mole
Mexico?
comics. Yep.
Bro, hey, don't sleep on it, you know? Don't
Yep.
sleep on it. There's a lot of stuff going on out there. And yeah, you may not see some of these Spanish collectors out there like as much, but when that La Mole comes up, they're there. So they're out there.
No, La
Uh,
Prensa. Yeah, everybody knows
I
what La
mean,
Prensa is. You know what I'm saying?
no, let's not talk about that.
Uh,
yeah.
Um,
Let's not talk about that.
no, look,
something
we're
else going
still
on
on there.
Netflix though. There
The
it is.
Yakuza.
That I'm excited for. That I'm excited for.
Batman Ninja was, I believe, was like an animated movie
Mm,
that dropped around 2018. I've only seen part of it. I haven't finished it. It's one of there's a lot of DC animated movies I need to go back to. But
yeah,
now they announced it's returning versus Yakuza League teaser. So
I saw the
uh,
trailer.
some trailer, but look at the imagery. I always loved like
Yeah,
I know the original Batman Ninja one. They had like
look at
unique,
Flash.
yeah, they had like a unique designs for Harley, Joker, and Catwoman. But yeah, seeing some of these other characters, it's sick, bro. I am looking forward to this. And there was
When I saw the trailer drop, I was surprised that like when I first saw it, it was in Japanese, and I'm probably gonna watch the series in Japanese. I'm gonna catch up with the first, and I'm gonna watch the series in Japanese for sure.
I mean, as soon as it comes out, I watch it however I have to. But like, if they can give me like a Spanish version, that's the sweet spot for me. There is a card set which I've always seen because I always look for DC cards. And there is a Batman Ninja card set that came out. I want to say a couple years ago, but um, I started seeing a lot less of them maybe a year ago, and a lot less boxes available.
Hmm.
I wonder if it being back again, or if they produce a new set. It's gonna be interesting just to keep an eye on that. And there was some dope shit in those sets. So looking forward to again Batman anime. I'm with it. DC anime.
DC. And I don't know if you notice in the thing it says it's Warner Brothers Japan, so that means that's coming out of the Japan division of
Oh,
Warner Brothers.
right. Yep.
So that's if that doesn't tell you anything, like
So
I think DC is like all
Wonder
in.
Woman, Flash, Green Lantern.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's pretty epic, bro. And is this gonna be a film or is this gonna be
I'm
a
not sure.
series? It doesn't say. Oh, it's a film, so it's gonna
Okay.
be the sequel. So I'm definitely, anyone listening out there never given it a shot. Yo, rock, join our, watch, our anime club, though. Let's all watch Batman Ninja. You know what I
There you
mean?
go.
We all experience it together, and we can talk about it
Yeah.
before the
Yeah,
new one comes
I'm
out.
gonna watch it. I don't. Unlike you guys, I'll be honest though. I don't have high expectations because I,
Oh man.
no, I'm just being honest. When it's like different styles that I'm not used to, when it's not like whether it's the Batman animated series or at least Batman Beyond type
Mhm.
style, then I'm thrown off. But like I said, I can't judge it until
Oh
I
yeah,
watch it.
no, that makes sense. You like even with your artwork choices, you like to keep like a certain way or what you used to, and it takes you time to adapt like
Yeah,
abstract thing. Where me, I love when they just go left and they just do something different.
Yeah.
And
yeah. A good example that you're right. A good example is I was talking to Obi the other day, and you guys were always pretty quick to accept and like some of the Peach Momoko artwork, right?
yes,
Some stuff.
And yeah, and then he sent me a Gambit Jambalaya. He sent me the link. He's like, "Oh, this is the
oh
first Gambit
wow,
Jambalaya," and I saw it, and I was like,
wasn't for you.
It's starting to grow on me. It's not bad.
Oh, you liked it.
It's
Wow.
not
Oh,
bad.
okay.
Wow.
I wouldn't say it's hard.
We're
No,
turning in the lead.
but like it's not that form. Like you can like it's more familiar.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. I need things that are gonna stand the test of time. Once you've been
Yeah, it
around
takes
for
you a
a
while to
while.
buy in. Yeah,
Yeah,
they gotta prove it so you can buy in. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Uh,
So maybe that's what it is. Because
talking
even
about
I have to admit here, last thing I'll admit, just being
yeah,
honest. So it's a moment of honesty here. I've even
yeah.
seen some pieces of art from Palumbo recently that I'm like, huh,
Uh-oh.
it's not bad.
I
Wow.
mean, welcome to the club, dog. Like,
Yo,
yeah.
I don't want to. I don't.
2024,
Hey, I don't want a
the year of
membership or
change.
nothing. But
No,
you know,
it's just like you can get like what they give you like a day pass when you go visit them. It's just a
yeah,
day
I'll take a
pass.
day pass. Yeah, I'll take a
Yeah,
day pass.
Palumbo's been stepping up a lot. Like again, 2020 is not my favorite masterpieces by
Mm.
no, like it's not even
Yeah,
close. But a lot of his recent work has been a different level for me. So especially
yeah,
his Ghost Spiders, he's always done those well. But another artist like Peach from Monko, and I talked, in our chat with Johnny and Free, I brought this up a while back that a lot of the recent Peach from Monko stuff just wasn't hitting for me. It felt repetitive, and I was kind of losing like I didn't really like the artwork I was seeing lately. But shout out to her. This piece right here, bro. This one brought me back. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I don't know what it is. Like
mm.
this just reminds
Yeah,
me of
it's a
some
Oh,
lowrider.
lowriders.
lowrider
Come on.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah,
artwork. Like those. Remember the first episode we had, Lucy, when I told you, yo, I used to collect those lowrider stickers.
stickers.
And bro, this is some
Yeah.
chola fucking shit that Peach Momoko is doing. I
You're
hope
going to
this
have to
is
add a
a
caption for
cover.
what Chola is on the bong, too.
Yeah, well, if you know, you know. Uh, Shout out to my sisters, back in the 90s. Definitely Chola vibes, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, you told me. So you tell me they had some of those mall pictures?
Yeah,
Right.
100% with the big old hoops, you know what I mean? The goofy,
Yeah.
the goofy rings, dog, you know what I mean? Like, Cholas, they weren't playing that, you know what I mean? They always had rings, unless they need to get down, you know what I mean? They'll leave you, cut you up, you know what I'm saying? So that's just how it
Yeah.
went. But that's some Latin culture. To me, this is all
That's
that
awesome.
vibe, and I love this. If it's a print, I need legit to go find it because this is some shit I would want to frame and put on the wall, bro. Like this
Well,
is hard.
well,
Well, you know what?
Peach is pretty active. You could reach out to Peach. She'll probably respond to you, man. Send her
And
a
you know,
DM.
it also makes
Yeah,
sense because I don't know if you guys know this, but there's a
bro.
huge like
Yes.
cholo culture in Japan.
Yeah, I was seeing
Yeah,
some
yeah,
videos, dog.
They
That's
put
crazy.
respect on it. Let's put it that way.
They do it
yeah.
right. Oh, like
Yeah.
damn.
Hey, and not just Japan. It's in like the Philippines too. Like it's kind of spread out. It's kind of spread out throughout about Asia. You know.
It's so trippy because it reminded me
Yeah.
of like the '90s growing up because I would see lowriders everywhere. But it's just
That's dope.
different part of the world. I'm like, damn, that's crazy. But shout out to Peach. I love
Yeah,
this.
that's
I need
dope.
to go find more information. Anyone has information on this and you don't mind sharing it, hit me up because I want to get a print or something. Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if it's like a comic cover. Is it like yeah? It's interesting. Does it say anything on the caption? No.
Doesn't, bro. It's just a prayer
The
hand,
prayer. Wow.
which again,
Maybe she's got something in the works.
yeah, and she's been doing more of her, horror vibes,
Yeah,
which
I thought that was fun.
this is just interesting. It's not my vibe, but this is interesting to look at.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
This is very, this is more like Japanese body horror vibes. She does a lot of that like on her personal work.
It
But
looks
it's
like someone melted a lot of Pokemon. That's what it looks
yeah, right, like Inside Out, like they were real. But
like.
again, interesting. And she did that with this Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I think it's a prelim, but it's a cool cover. Though I don't think she shows the main cover there. But yeah, shout out to Peach, and I wish more, type of this artwork was back. Maybe I just need to find more artists that are tapping into this era. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And look at the license plate on the bottom right.
Right
Just like the
here.
kanji. Come on, man. Like,
It looks
Peach.
sick, bro. This, yeah, I mean,
And look, another thing that we didn't
thanks,
touch on,
bro.
like there's a lot of artists that are dope that we know of, Marvel artists that is, but not everybody knows how to do cars. Cars are different beasts.
Yep.
Yes, there's a different respect. Like that car looks clean.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to.
Um, yeah, I love this. All right, I know we're talking about art, and we previewed Fleer Ultra Wolverine. We've
Did we?
seen it get open. I've seen a couple breaks. I just want to give our first impressions.
And you
Uh,
go first. What'd you think about
Yeah.
it?
so yeah, all right, let me go first. So shout out to Keith Boyle, Hobby Archival. He does a great job when he posts all the base in a reel so that people can see all the artwork. So shout out to him. My first impression, I liked a lot of the artwork. Thought it was fun. This Phoenix is dope.
Yeah.
A lot of the inserts, though, I thought they weren't gonna be great, and I still don't think they're great.
That's
Uh,
fair.
I like the jambalayas. They actually look really nice. They have this particular vibe to them. I feel like they're producing them different, but maybe it's just been a while since I grabbed a jambalaya. It's been a while since I've seen one. But the EX entries, the colored parallels, the ones that are hard numbered, I think are cool. Look at that Magneto. I
That's
think
a
it's
dope one.
hard. And so EX entries, jambalayas, for the most part, and some medallions.
Oof, that's
Uh,
rough.
this Psylocke is sick. Some of the medallions, I like the gold ones. The ones that are rainbow foil, and I think the platinum ones also. But I just wish they would do all of them rainbow foil. And these are all thicker cards, which I don't know, man. I just like thinner cards now, and I know it's probably meaningless. Like some people, are like, who cares? I like the thinner cards, and especially when you slab them. I don't. I just want a regular slab. I don't want like this saran wrap looking slab that's thick and shit. Just give me regular shit. But a lot of the artwork, the rug is nice.
That's nice.
Um,
It feels like Fleer. If
awesome.
it looks like a Fleer set.
It does. It's this and Flair being back to back. I don't know if that's a good thing for them. Mystique is
It's a
fire.
cool
That's
one. Yep, it's a
It's
cool one.
Tom Fleming for sure.
That does look like Fleming. Yep. And the interesting thing about that I saw, there's a lot of X-23 cards and Wolverines which will make this move, but some of those cards have blood in them now. So it's
Mhm.
interesting that they're bringing that violence back.
Are you guys going to be okay with that?
Mm.
Of course. I mean, look,
I'm gonna go ask. Go ask my mom.
yeah. I mean, that's where I wish. Like, I'm not saying like go crazy with it, but yeah, let's just bring some of the '90s back. Like, it's we're all
Yeah.
we can handle it.
Again, to the point. You know, we need to desensitize a little bit. You know, and we need we need some blood. We need some violence.
Yeah.
The comic.
But yeah. What about you guys? I mean, I don't know. Have you
Um,
guys seen a lot of the
listen,
box breaks?
I'm not gonna. I have not looked into it. That looks pretty dope. Again, some of the images look really cool. I know that I went on eBay and I shared a couple images, or a couple like things that were for sale. They wanted what 20,000 for the one of one Psylocke.
Yeah, day one.
Yeah,
Someone pulled it the day before it was released. I think. I think it was the
and
day.
then, I may get some shit for for calling out like a name, but the Tom Morgan for the pop culture cards. Some of those cards are not.
I think we
It's
were
rough,
spot
bro.
on with our analysis. If you guys missed
It's
it,
rough.
we basically said, "Nah." All right.
Yeah, like the name of the artist doesn't make a difference. Like it's still not like 'cause I don't like it. I'm not gonna say it's bad. It's just not for me.
Not for me. Yeah,
Yeah.
not for me either. And a lot of people I talked to, it wasn't for them. So you just it is what it is. I'm sure someone out there loves that set. The good thing about it, I don't think you'll have a problem getting the full set because I don't think there's gonna be a lot of competition for that set. So I mean,
Yeah, I think. Look, here's my issue. It goes back to what we were just talking about in general. Like, to me, it's hard. The standards I have for any new set is either going to be a 90s standard, or if it's going to be modern, I'm going to compare it to the Fleer, the 13 Fleer, 15 Fleer sets, and 17 Fleer Ultra Spider-Man. And if it doesn't match those standards, it's subpar, unfortunately. And I don't see any of these new sets that are coming out even come close to whether it's 90s again or whether it's modern sets.
right?
Look at that. Like, come
Yeah,
on. Yeah, it's tough.
I like some of these Wolverine cards, but definitely like it is tougher for modern, more like the newer sets to compete because there is a history of art, right? Like we
Yeah.
have so many examples from most characters. In order for
But
you to crack the top 10 overall, it's just tough, bro. It's just gonna be a tough task.
I think it's going to be tough, but I think it's definitely doable. What I think
Oh
it
yeah,
is if you just have to handpick really dope art. I don't think it's impossible. I just think that you just have to handpick the art better, and also it's really their hit to miss ratio.
yes,
Like when you say, "Oh, it's not bad," that just means that you like a handful of cards, but that
yeah.
doesn't mean that the majority are dope.
No, yeah, I would say like yeah, it's 50-50, right? Or at least
That's
close to
generous.
50-50.
Look at that.
Um obviously like that Professor X I really like. I still like it.
Yeah,
Winter Soldier, I've seen a lot of other examples I prefer, but
that's emo.
that Magneto holds up.
That
There's
That's
might
a
hard.
be
bunch of them.
Yep.
top three in the
Uh,
set.
right?
Yeah.
Like so, it's most of these are really good, are good, right? But
That's rough.
the ones that
Mm.
really stand out are definitely fewer.
And look, and we don't even have to even talk about the inserts. I'll make the question even easier. How many of these cards, as they're going by us in this little slide, how many would you buy if they were in a PSA 10?
I'll buy that Magneto.
That's a
Yeah,
difficult.
that's one.
Yeah, but that's a difficult question because most cards I won't buy in a PSA. Like, I'm just not in that vibe right now. Like, I don't
Yeah.
see myself buying many cards to begin with.
I get you. That's what
It's
makes it
hard.
hard.
Like that
That Magneto's pretty cool too.
fire,
Yeah.
like that.
That's a
I
good
would
rogue.
say that rogue
Mm.
holds it's in the upper 50% of all
Mhm.
rogue cards. I'll say that. Like,
Agreed.
Not that Neymar though.
not for me.
Not that Hawkeye.
That Mystique is
That's dope.
one of the
That's Tom
most
Fleming too.
interesting Mystiques that I've seen in a long time.
My point is, if we sat here through the whole 100, I think I'm gonna think that no more than 10 are hard, and that's my point. It's like 10% hit,
Yeah.
90% miss.
Yeah, if we're just choosing like best of the best.
Yeah, just bangers.
Yeah, I think so.
And that's all.
I think it's difficult to like that Omega Red is sick. It's difficult to compare these two other sets also. Like it's tough. Like again, it's different artists in so many different styles. Like you're already going to be picky, right? Because not every artist is for you.
Here's the thing, though, that I just saw because I saw the slide go twice, and I kind of scratched my head because you mentioned the Professor X card, and then I see another Professor X card in the same base set.
There's multiples
Why?
for characters. There's different. I don't know what it is. I guess they're just trying to extend the set list to be longer, so they can sell more product. I don't. I mean, I'm guessing that has to do with that.
The inflation continues, you know.
But I appreciate more cards of one character because if I don't like one, I'm gonna like at least one out of the three.
I mean, I feel like they've been doing that, right? Like with the X-Men Metal, that's the low and the high series. That's the way they got away with it then.
Well, is that what's going on here, Doom? Is it low high series? Maybe I'm just missing it.
I'm not sure. I don't think so. I think they just have multiple interpretations of characters. Especially, there's a bunch of like Wolverine, Weapon X, Old Man Logan. Like it's expected because it's a set, but there's a lot of X-23 cards too.
Yeah, but the X-23 with her jumping out the window, like who picked that one? You know.
I mean, look, it's not fair. That Sabretooth's dope. I like that one. And that Rogue to me, not so much, but the other one, yes. And the Gambits, as a Gambit fan,
he's kind of holding that Daredevil pose. I don't know though, you know. It looks like Daredevil on that insert a little bit.
As a Gambit fan, I don't know, and I'm not an expert in it. I'm sure Elusive's probably much more analyzed Gambit artwork. It's feeling to me like Gambit is getting that rogue treatment lately. You know what I'm saying? There's not a lot of great Gambits out there.
No. They make them a little too effeminate. That's the problem.
Yeah, I can see that on a lot of these.
I mean, they did them dirty in the animated series. We won't even, the tank top.
Gambit was,
See, it's all fun and games when it's not your character, right? But if they ever do them and they do them dirty like that, then we'll get back to this convo.
Nah, I mean, look, that's why Doom's the GOAT. You can't do him wrong. You can try, but you know what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah, there's no.
Nah, relax. Chill out. Blade, like this Dark Phoenix, again, I've said it, but that to me is one of the most beautiful pieces of this whole set. And I think that one holds up with a bunch of these. But yeah, that's our first impression. Shout out to anyone collecting the set, breaking the set, enjoying it, viewing all these box breaks. I'm sure there's plenty out there. Hope you guys have fun with it.
Yeah,
for sure. We got some other stuff going on too out there in California. We got SDCC coming up.
Bro.
And we were talking about it before. We were a little bit upset, because we mentioned like it just like throughout history, SDCC usually gets like the hot drop, like over like New York City Comic Con. So I'm a little jealous that it's on the West Coast, but We got this right here, Doom. You know, this is your nostalgia. Well, I mean, listen, my nostalgia too. I know I don't talk too much about turtles, but I
Oh
grew up
yeah.
on turtles.
No, you're a
I mean,
turtle
that's
fan.
dope, but they did this already. Like with the figure that I gifted you, Doom. I think that's better than that,
Yes, I
personally.
agree. The little minifigure. Yes,
Yeah,
I enjoy that one better. This is obviously the what is it? The original sketch that
yeah.
Eastman did, right?
Yeah,
It's a
this
little
is the
funkier of a turtle. And the thing about San Diego Comic Con, like all the toy makers and not just toy makers, but a lot of brands, they drop the San Diego Comic Con exclusive.
yeah.
It's just like it's honestly it's like Black Friday, but we get to drop something exclusive. Boom, you guys got to buy it, and we can charge y'all extra money. So that's the whole gimmick. Uh, this was announced. Is this the which version is this? Because there's multiple versions. So this is the Playmates.
This is the Playmates SDCC exclusive for 2024.
This makes sense because it's the 40th anniversary. Earlier in the year, they dropped this same set, but it was all in color. So now they're doing the black and white sketch variant, and that's
Which
how
one do
they.
you like more? I mean, I like the black and white. It's a
I
different
like
vibe.
this one. I like this one way better. Yep,
Yeah,
it's a
I
black
like
and white
this.
one. Although personally, I don't like these versions of the turtles.
Yeah.
Yeah. But for the
Uh,
OG lovers out there, which you know we
oh,
know that you're out there for sure.
yeah,
This is for you.
this is for the completist, and some people really fuck with this, and I get the history of it. But yeah, no, I'm good on skipping these.
And then their feet look like they got stung by all the fucking bees.
Yeah, it's a funky design, but
Yeah.
I'm glad this was the first design. You know what I'm saying? It's so
Yeah. There's some T-Rex feet.
Crazy, right?
But anyway.
there's so many releases we can't go over all of them because there's tons. But this one's an interesting one. McFarlane doing Marvel
Yeah.
figures
That's
now,
that's a dope figure. That's pretty dope.
and this is obviously was the Spider-Man 301 cover. I thought it was a 300 cover. That was like maybe
It is, but 301 is the red and blue suit. 300 is the black
got
suit.
it. It's a black suit. Got it. So I thought this was dope.
Yeah,
He gets
Yeah.
to do it on his own brand,
that's cool.
and I
That
don't know
you
if there's been a
that's gonna be a hot toy.
bro. Yeah,
That's gonna be a hot toy for sure.
this is more like just set like you can't really move it, right? This is not articulated. It's more like a mini statue. Right?
Yeah. No, for the purists, you kind of don't have to. It's already at the pose, you know.
Yep.
That's what they
And
want.
that's the
So
dope part. Like when they bring out toys that are already in iconic poses, that helps out.
yeah,
In my
Yeah.
opinion.
you imagine that like the black suit. Oh man, come on,
What
come
they
on,
I'm
man.
sure
call
he's gonna.
this
I'm sure he's gonna. I'm sure he's gonna do that like as an exclusive or something.
Yeah,
1/6 scale posed figure. We're seeing. I mean, yes, it's posed. It is, but this is like a statue, dog. Like, what are we doing? I get it. But look, to all the toy collectors out there, it's a thing. If it's not articulated, why are we calling this a toy? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, especially 1/6, right? You don't want to compete against Hot Toys and other lines.
But I get it. Like, that's that's gonna look sick no matter what. So
yeah.
people are definitely gonna run to it, and they've been waiting for it since he announced he was gonna start doing Marvel. They got a lot of stuff here. He's got this Captain America 6 scale pose figure. Just interesting what he's doing with the Marvel license. So
Yeah.
we'll see how it goes. And then we saw some news
Uh,
of the poster leaks, right? So this is just
just a
some
little
little
snippet.
promo going up now, and we're getting closer to this Fantastic Four becoming a thing. Here you go. You
Flame Boy.
got Flame Boy. Shout out to Flame Boy. And Mr. Fantastic, Invisible Woman, Ben Grimm, and that 60s vibes branding.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's cool. They're gonna have what, Hall H back? I think that's the whole thing.
Where's
So
Doom and Surfer? The fuck?
those are still no
Maybe
one's
that'll be the next one.
confirmed.
You
Yeah, no one's
No,
confirmed.
well, I'm skipping that.
It's just rumors that might appear. Who knows? But I believe they're doing Hall H announcements where they used to do the big reveals of trailers and like you wouldn't know that a movie's coming out and they drop it there for San Diego Comic Con. I think that's coming back for both DC and Marvel. So there's gonna be hype. There's gonna be a lot of hype around this year, and it seems like it's gonna be a big event this year specifically.
Huge.
I think before COVID it was a spot, and then after COVID it was kind of like wasn't the same. A lot they weren't making announcements. They were doing their D23 exclusives, and then DC had its own like digital exclusive where they announced their stuff. It seems like now people are coming back to San Diego Comic Con for like all the pop culture shit too. So
that's cool.
we'll see. We'll see what they show. Looking forward to it. Again, I don't have my hopes up, but you know what I mean.
A boy can dream.
A boy can dream. Now, what are we looking at here, Sergio? Because you sent me this, and I was
So-
like, what?
So Gail Simon posted.
Oh, Gail Simone. Yeah, Gail
Yeah.
Simone.
She posted the Uncanny X-Men 1 release that she's releasing, and what you see right there is the Hidden Gem variant Jungle Rogue. I call it Jungle Rogue. That's not the official name, but Jim Lee Hidden Gem variant. I think it's 1 out of 50, but I'm not too sure. I'm in it for the look. I'm not in it for the number. So when it comes to like these things, and it's just really, I mean, dude, that's a dope rogue. Speaking of rogue, it's a different vibe. It's super 90s with the big hair. I enjoy it.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I mean, look, I might need to get a copy. You know what I'm saying?
And I send. I know there's a picture of like the pinup, and I'm not sure if that's like a hidden gem,
I couldn't find it. I don't think they've showed the image, but there's a different one, a different hidden one, right?
Yeah, and I mean, if that's like the Virgin variant, that looks crazy. But either way, that's the Gail Simone release, and they have like the different variations of different releases. Some are good, some are like I thought that was David Nakayama just because of like the style of like the cutout,
right?
But it's not.
It's
somebody
And
else.
he does those kind of covers too, and it's like one whole color.
John Tyler Christopher. This is cool though. I don't know anything about this series, but
I'm not up with the modern
Rogue. You know what I mean?
But when something like that, I think that's like the Kubrick cover. That's a Kubrick cover. See, because you like Kubrick.
Yeah.
But hey, again, if you are like a Kubrick fan, right? You could jump into something modern for cheap, and it doesn't have to be anything crazy. And listen, some of these some of these variants, go for crap. I'm not too big into it, but some of these things go for crazy.
Bro, Steven Segovia, I love this one. You got Nightcrawler looking dope, Jubilee and Rogue looking right, and then the homies
Gambit out on the front, of course,
with the ace. You know what I mean? What's this?
That's a fun one, but not for
me. Okay,
not for us.
It's fun.
I mean, it might be for Sergio. I don't know. Pablo Villalobos, nice. And then, is this still a cover? That's crazy if this is a cover. We got all these images. Garcia variant.
Damn.
And this is a wraparound.
Find Waldo's?
That's cover.
I like these wraparounds. They've done it for...
look at that Nightcrawler to the right.
Yeah, right
zoom in?
Yeah.
Got Domino right here.
Shout out to True Blue.
Shout out True Blue. Look at this Nightcrawler, the little one.
That's Scotty Young Nightcrawler, dog. Don't worry about it.
Where's Doom though? Oh, this is X-Men. Never mind.
He don't want it with the X-Men,
Oh wow.
Relax.
You're definitely gonna eat that statement, but okay.
But yeah, I'm definitely trying to get the Jim Lee copy, dog.
Listen, speaking of Jim Lee, like we are a fan. I know he's been getting bashed a little bit. What's going on, guys? Like, what's the problem with Jim Lee's commissions?
So I started hearing about this on good old Twitter or X, like a week ago. When was it? When it
Yeah, sorry, a couple of days ago.
And yeah, people apparently there's been this whole bitterness with his commission rates
Bitterness.
and people complaining. I've even seen some YouTube videos about it. I think Swagger House did one. And again, I think some of his rates are like $20,000 for a commission, 35,000, 9,000 to 15,000 for a 9x12. So this has been making, and again, these numbers were out in like Facebook groups for original art commissions, Facebook groups. So it's not. It's been out for a while. It just caught fire for I guess certain people in social media, and there's been a lot of complaining about it. It's not like realistic, but yo, bro, the guy is the president of DC. If you want some from him, he's got to make time for it. Of course, it's gonna be ridiculous. Like, what do you
Look,
expect?
I don't have any. This is the first time I heard about this. Like, you guys know I don't hear anything about this. I don't look into this kind of stuff. But I will say this: like, I don't care what he charges. If you're a fan of his artwork and you want a piece from him and you could afford it, that's cool with me. By all means, grab it.
Yeah.
What I will say that I have an issue with is if I've ever wanted a piece from him, and let's say I want to get a nice Gambit or a nice Wolverine, and I pay his fee, whatever that is, do it right. Don't half-ass it. If you're gonna half-ass it, then don't do it at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't hit me with, I got better shit to do. Okay, well, go do the other shit. If you're not gonna do it for $25,000, you better fucking sketch the shit out of that.
And look, if you've seen Jim Lee, because he has, he goes live on Twitch, and he every now and then he'll go live on Twitch and just draw something. Like anytime he gets down to do a commission, he's putting out work. You know what I mean? Like it's not half-assed. I get some of the remarks, maybe sometimes.
Yeah, the remarks, I think is what I've seen.
But those are mostly, again, I'm not too knowledgeable in that, but I think that's a much cheaper rate, so you can't expect a lot of detail.
Okay, but let me ask you a question. This is where it comes down to for me.
Yeah.
What do his remarks go for? Range, if you have to guess.
Between I want to say the last CGC one, and don't quote me on it, but I think it was like close to 500, but it's still like limited. So I don't know. Like at the con, I don't know what it would be.
Yeah,
500 plus.
Yep.
Okay, so if we're talking about 500 plus, I mean, you got the Patella's Doom sketch.
But it's a doodle. No, but it's a doodle.
Yeah.
His is a doodle. It's a quick little like.
That's my point. I'm not spending that on a fucking doodle. I'd rather go get a Patella sketch personally.
Right. Yeah, I get that.
And that's a good choice.
Yeah.
Look, at a creator like Jim Lee, you can't expect what his comic book detail or like the amount of time he spends on a cover to be what you get in return. It's just not.
I get that.
Right. So I also don't think he tricks anyone. Like his visual examples, like where you're getting into and the price ranges for Jim Lee, who's been doing it for a long time. So like there's no like you don't feel like you're not getting your money's worth because you already know up front, this is what you can get in return.
Yeah, if you know,
I mean,
if you know,
at least the examples I've seen. Shout out to his rep. I think he's rep by Albert Moore, I believe. Also, like those prices are there, but bro, not everyone who wants one and is willing to pay that is gonna get a slot.
Yeah.
So you're just like, even if you got the money, you gotta have the opportunity because not everyone's guaranteed one. And you're talking about one of the GOATs, so of course it's gonna be expensive, man.
And my thing with it is just like, look, he doesn't even have to do it. So
that's the thing.
People talk about like the price now. It's the same price thing that and listen, this isn't a pump, for you people out there collecting like Jim Lee pieces. But if the guy decided to not do any more sketches tomorrow, what's going to happen to the market? Well, it doesn't matter if he did 100,000 of them. What happens?
It's gonna explode
I don't
because
know.
he is him overall. Like he's one of the goats. You can't deny that. Also, like if you're trying to get, if the criticism is, well, like some of his original art pages don't sell art, go buy the original art interiors. You can find some under 10,000, under 5,000. Like again, Swagger House made a video. You can see some examples, which he pulls up heritage auctions. Yeah, you can find some stuff that's under 10K if you want that type of 11x17 commission size. But you're also like when you're paying the up to do a commission, you're specifically telling what you want. Like that comes with the price, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what type of request he gets. You know what I mean? But you got to pay to play, bro. Like that's it's not.
Unfortunately, I can't play.
Most people can.
You could because if you went to a con, like you may come out 1,000. Maybe it's not the 25,000 like huge piece, but you could probably get a smaller piece for, for 1,000. Depending on like what you're looking for.
If you
want the full detail, full body, like you know that you're looking at more than that. But would you be okay with like a Jim Lee like face shot, like a sick like Gambit like portrait or no? Like would you want like a full body?
No, a portrait's fine as long as it's dope. It goes back to what I've said a long time ago, man. Give me a fully loaded Honda Accord as opposed to a fucking base model Mercedes. And he's a Mercedes artist, but I'm not gonna get the entry level. I'd rather with that money get again a Patella, a Simone Bianchi, Cubert that's gonna
get us to go
for less money. There you go.
But the other problem, like just getting something from, like if you like, I know Tim has told me because Tim has chased them for a long time at cons. You're not even like the lines are so big. You're not even guaranteed to get a sketch of any, not even a simple remark. Sometimes,
that's why I'm just happy with having the Pac-Pulled Wolverine auto at this point. For me,
right?
And that's it.
Because his autograph already like is hard to get. So, I mean, I think the commotion behind the rates is honestly is just, it's like entitlement. I'm like, bro, like I would love a fucking Bruce Timm sketch. I don't know if I'm ever gonna get one. All right, because I don't know.
But we also know that there's a couple of Bruce Timm pieces out there that go for $500, $600, $700 as well. It might not be what you want, but again, like it goes to the point. You're paying for the commission to get what you want.
Man, most of his like just simple headshots are around 1,500, 2,000, just which is still amazing that there's still an option you can buy. Because I don't think you see Bruce Timm at cons to begin with. So again, there's a lot of you can get stuff in the open market, especially interior pages for lower prices. Mm-hmm. But when you're talking about commission rates, if anyone deserves to get the amount of money he gets, it's Jim Lee, bro. So I can't blame the guy. I mean,
again, my whole thing is kind of like what I was saying. I agree, he doesn't have to, and he definitely deserves it, and he's a GOAT.
Yeah.
But again, if you're looking at just being wise with your money, that's where I'm coming from.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, to spend any money, Jim Lee, it's not being wise. Like that is you're buying something at a luxury. Like it's not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, like there's no other way to cut it.
100%.
You can go buy a fucking book where you can see his art, but you want his actual drawing, his actual signature. That's gonna cost. It comes with the fee, and with any artist, like. That's it, bro.
And also, speaking on Jim, to stay on topic because we're talking about him now, but I know he has the Amalgamate. It's like the DC Marvel crossover. I know he had talked about it for a while.
Omnibus that's being released.
Yeah, he's gonna have a little Jim Lee omnibus. I think that's pretty cool.
Then he did the cover, right?
He did the wraparound cover for it.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I mean, for people that are into comics and the omnibuses, I'm not really big into the whole like amalgam, like the crossover. I think it's a cool idea. It's just not like I'm not chasing to read that. So
Yeah, man, there's a lot of new news from San Diego Comic-Con. I'm sure there's a ton of stuff we missed out on. This is some of the stuff that grabbed our attention. If you guys out there see anything dope that you think we'll like, please feel free to shoot us a message because I'm always interested. I don't have time to be searching all day, and I always appreciate when we get links. So, yeah. Man, come on. You see any turtle stuff, anything, Batman animated? Come on.
Yeah, we definitely do a lot of homework for you guys. So maybe you guys could do some homework for us.
We try. Just interacting, and people try. You guys listen to us. Y'all know us. So
yeah, sure.
Bro. Any shout outs though before we go?
Yeah, I will say this, and if you guys ever feel like if you have a question for me or anything, reach out to me. I definitely don't bite. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Look, Elusive's not. He's he at times sounds a bit harsh, but yeah, he's a good guy. You know what I'm saying?
Give him a chance. Give him a chance. Shout outs. I mean, man. Oh, you know what? I do have a shout out, man. I know you get shouted out here quite a bit, but I opened up a couple boxes. I've been opening up a couple packages. I'm recording the process, man, and got to give a shout out to Andrew. He told me he was going to send me something, and I was like, all right, sweet. And then he sent me something else, and I was like, okay, wow, like he hit the spot for sure, man. So I told him I have a couple care packages that I'm putting out this week, man. I've been super busy with life, with just random stuff, man. It's been a busy moment, but shout out to him, man, for sending that out. Because again, like it's those little things, and look, it's not about gifting or giving or any of that stuff, but when someone sneaks you like a little something, man, like it's appreciated. It's cool to see that in the hobby. When doing this with people that you've never spoken to, because Andrew, like, where you at? And but big shout out, man. Thank you for the gift, man. It's really appreciated. Like, listen, he did homework that I didn't do, and things that I look for, So like when I opened it, I was like, oh shit,
That's dope.
Hey man, hey, he's in there, Andrew, I see you, bro.
Nice. For me, shout out to RMS. I mean,
shout out to RMS.
I was asking him some questions today. Nice. Shout out to the homie Will and Tim. Shout out to Shane. I haven't heard from Shane a lot, but Shane's been he was sick for a while after the Heroes Con, so I mean. He's been quiet, but got to talk to him today. And the homie True Blue, I hopped on with him to PSA reveal. Nice. If you guys haven't checked that out, make sure you check that out. He's got a nice Venom PSA 10. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there, Venom collectors, who might be interested. Hit up Nathan. Shout out to them.
My only shout out is going to be to Soul Collectibles. Shout out to Soul. I'm going to be doing an episode of Cards and Coffee next week. So if you guys are fans of those videos, that's what the next one is, guys.
Hell yeah.
And one more thing, man. Just a reminder to us here, and to the people out there listening. The next not this next episode, but probably the one after. Like we got a little special guest coming in, man. We're super excited for. It should be a good time, man. I know we talked about it. Now we're like a week closer to it, so be on the lookout for that for sure. We're gonna ask some hard questions.
Nice. Thanks for everyone for listening, following, subscribing, leaving a comment. We appreciate it. Growing little by little, mom and pop shop. We got the sauce, so please just let the word out there. Listen to these guys. They're talking that good shit. You know what I mean? Not to toot our horns, but we like to have fun conversations, and I think people enjoy them. So appreciate all the support, and we'll definitely check y'all out next week. We're gonna try to keep it going. So yeah.
Peace.
Peace.